The following segment is sponsored by Daniel A. White and Associates and does not necessarily reflect the views of this station or Forever Media Incorporated. Rick Jensen on 1150 AM, 1017 FM, WDEL.
Dan White is financial planner, specializing in retirement income, and I've been a client of his for many, many years. Always glad when he or another trusted professional of his team calls in with some advice, some tips, right after the news at 1:30 every Wednesday. Let's see, producer Randy, we're also going to get to text messages, right?
That's correct.
All right, cool, good. It's Dan Simon on the phone with Dan White and Associates. Hello, Dan.
Hello, Rick. How are you this afternoon?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. By the way, I talked to Dan, the other Dan, Dan White, the one that's up in the Chad's Ford office here in the Middletown office there. It's pretty stunning. He's going to have Wade Pfau on the show Sunday morning at 7 o'clock for On the Money. This guy, Wade Pfau, he's a big deal in your industry, PhD. And I know he's a program director at the American College of Financial Services. And Dan was saying that he and Wade Pfau, and I guess you too, Dan Simon, you all work pretty much the same way, don't you?
Yeah, Wade's approach is really kind of approaching retirement from an income standpoint, which is a mindset change for a lot of people. But that's really what we focus on as well. So we're really excited to have Wade on the show on Sunday. It's just a tremendous breadth of knowledge and insight that he can bring to the show, to the listeners, and so forth. So we're really excited to have.
Yeah, get a cup of coffee, 7 o'clock in the morning, Sunday on the Money. Meanwhile, happy Thanksgiving. I saw this note from you saying you got 5 IRA rules that you're thankful for. Is that right? I like that packaging. Nice.
It's to go along with the season. I feel like so much of the year we complain about things that are sometimes out of our control, and it's just the season for gratitude, right, Rick? So some of the things I wanted to talk about that we really should be thankful for regarding the IRA rules that are out there. The first is portability, and what I mean by that is I think the employment dynamic in this country has really changed over probably the last 25, 30 years, where people aren't kind of lifers in their occupation or job, and they bounce around from employer to employer. And the nice thing about the IRA is they are portable. So if you're moving from one employer to another, obviously you can roll that 401k into an IRA, carry it forward with you. It gives you some mobility and allows you to have a little bit more control over those assets and your retirement savings. So that's first and foremost. Second is not to overlook the fact that Roth IRAs are out there, and the distributions from Roth IRAs really one of the best tax breaks that we see. Because again, you can take those tax-free distributions after the accumulation period, and what's really not to like about of tax-free income, right, Rick?
Yeah, no. It's funny you were talking about that first rule, and I remember reading the history about pensions and such like that. And there was a time in this country where if you left the job, you lost your pension. And they had to make laws about that to make sure that people got that, because quite honestly, that's part of people's compensation. So I think it's interesting how sometimes these laws change and we forget what can be better or what can be worse now than it was before.
That's a great point to make. And nowadays, I'd say if you have a pension, you should consider yourself fortunate, because they are seem to be few and far between unless you're working for the government or maybe the state. Yeah. Very, very rare in the private sector.
Number three.
Number three, qualified charitable distributions. Obviously, in the season of giving, why not do it in the most tax advantageous way? So QCDs, qualified charitable distributions. Giving is obviously a beautiful thing, and QCD is a distribution from an IRA account that goes directly to charities. So not only is it a great way to be philanthropically inclined, but also to decrease your gross adjusted income. And also for those who are required to make distributions over the age of 72 now, that QCD can also satisfy that required minimum distribution.
Yeah, if you have a particular charity you're very, very interested in and you want to give and you can, go for it. Number four.
Number four is, the breaks for married couples, specifically spousal beneficiaries. Being married obviously has its benefits under the tax codes, especially when it comes to the IRA. And you certainly need to be thankful for the breaks for those who are married, such as spousal IRA contributions. and also the ability to do a spousal rollover as a beneficiary. I think that's really important to recognize now, given the fact that beneficiaries of IRAs who are non-spouse in most cases are subject to the 10-year rule, which means the account needs to be emptied, taxes need to be paid within a 10-year window, but that doesn't apply to the spouse. They basically can roll it over, treat it as if it's their own.
Yeah, I like the way you said that. And marriage has its benefits, tax-wise anyway.
Tax-wise, of course, right?
Right. Now we're both going to get in trouble. All right. Number 5.
Thank God my wife's listening to the radio.
remember, honey, I said it, not him. You okay? There you go.
You can blame me.
No. I meant to your wife. I meant to your... No. Mrs. Simon, Rick is the one who's the bad one that said that, not Dan.
Last but not least, Rick, our Roth IRA conversions, and I think it's kind of a hot topic out there.
It is.
A lot of people talk about Roth conversions, whether it's right for them now or potentially in the future. But the Roth conversion gives the IRA owner the opportunity to trade a tax bill now for a payoff of tax-free earnings in the future. And I look at it and say, well, taxes, I think for most people are relatively or historically low right now. And it's an opportunity that many people are eager to pay the taxes now, control the environment that they're paying in the taxes. In today's tax rates, rather than the uncertainty of where they could potentially be in the future, given the amount of debt that the country is currently carrying forward. I haven't found too many people that think taxes are going down.
No. That's a lot to consider, too, because you think, okay, I'm in a higher tax bracket now. I'll take the traditional IRA and take the tax breaks. But we know taxes are going up. So do you want to pay taxes when you're older, even if it's hopefully maybe just 15%? Maybe it's going to be 20, 28, we don't know, because the government's been printing all this money now for the last couple of years, and we know we already have an inflationary tax. So you keep that in mind. Is it better to get it tax-free now or tax-free later? And also, here's something else in the mix I've seen happening as well, Dan, and that's that your premiums for Medicare are going up. And they're going to charge...
I just got out of a meeting earlier today, and the individual that I was meeting with said, hey, my Social Security benefits went up by, about 5.9% this year.
Yes, yeah.
But so did my Medicare premium.
Even more. Yeah. By the way, I think it was closer to 12 or something like that. It was stunning. So now you want to compensate for that, and you think now, okay, do I want to pay the taxes now, even though they're a little bit more, or maybe I should be completely tax-free when I'm retired, because quite honestly, we know that Social Security benefits are going to be reduced in some way by age or who knows what. There's a lot of different ways that they've kind of worked that system. And we know that your Medicare premiums are going to be going up as well throughout the course of time. So it's a tough call to make. How do you make that?
It is. And I'll also point out, Rick, just to, kind of move it a little further down the road is, also from a Social Security standpoint, those Social Security benefits are always going to be more tax advantageous to you than a distribution from a traditional IRA that's 100% taxable. Because at most they can tax your Social Security benefits as up to 85 cents on the dollar that you receive. So you're always getting at least 15 cents of that dollar tax-free. So, again, another strong case for the Roth conversion, prior to maybe filing, even for Social Security.
I'm glad I got you guys actually to pay attention to this stuff, seriously. And that's why I always recommend you as well. Dan Simon with Dan White and Associates. Give him a call at 888-690-8820, office in Middletown. Also just over the line in Pennsylvania at Chad's Ford. And again, Sunday morning, 7 o'clock on the money, you're going to have Wade Fowon, PhD, Professor of Retirement Income. This guy is, like I said, he's one of the top, most respected people in your industry, isn't he?
Without a doubt, absolutely.
Yeah, and what are you going to focus on? Did you do it with Dan, or did Dan White do this with one of the other guys?
I believe Dan did it himself with Wade, so I wasn't there for that one. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to be up at 7 o'clock on Sunday morning. I'm going to tune into the show.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot to learn from this guy, and it's interesting that here he is, one of the most respected retirement planners in the nation, and the way you do this in the Dan White and Associates office is the same way he does this. That's got to be feeling pretty good to you guys, huh?
Yeah, I mean, his credentials, his background are very impressive. So, I encourage everyone listening, if you've got the time, tune in, check it out on our podcast. It should be a great show.
All right, 7 o'clock Sunday morning on WDEL. Thanks, Dan. Be well.
All right, Rick, take care. Have a great afternoon. Thanks again.